in cloud environment or in any environment, in order to secure our network, we usually have jump servers to get into the environment. We usually have various subnets which is holding the traffic and the ports and the communication as per the need and the requirement to secure the environment. Okay, it is more like if we try to understand so that we could actually relate with the Azure Bastion service. Let's try to understand why we need that service first. Okay, let's suppose this is the virtual network of Azure. Okay, this is the virtual network in Azure, and in virtual network we have various subnets. Okay, let's call it DMZ. Okay, we have other subnets like app, maybe web, maybe DB. We may have different subnets. Let's suppose this is management. It could be any kind of a scenario in your organization or environment. So what I'm trying to explain, these subnets would have a different security rules as per the requirement. For example, DB would not be talking to any other subnet except the app subnet. Okay. Similarly, we would have management subnets where we might have a jump box so that we could, or a user could log in. This is the user, let's suppose. He tries to access any machine inside any of the subnet which doesn't have a public IP address connected to that VM or doesn't have outside access. So user will access the jump box, and jump box would have the PIP, public IP address, and of course there would be NSGs attached to this, which would be tracking or blocking the traffic from known or unknown IP addresses. Okay, so the traffic flow would be like coming from user to jump box, and then you're going to the different VMs. Okay, now what is happening in this scenario? We are exposing the RDP or SSH ports. You may have a load balancer just above this jump box so that you can do the port forwarding and your public IP is connected to the load balancer. That can be a situation. But if we talk about, we have public IP address, we are exposing RDP, okay, and what else? It has the access to the internet, right? So it is like exposing RDP SSH ports over the internet isn't desired and is seen as a significant threat right here. This could be a significant threat. Okay. This is often due to protocol vulnerabilities, right? Or in order to overcome these kind of situations, we have Azure Bastion service introduced. It wasn't there at the beginning in the Classic or in the ARM. Recently introduced, maybe a year ago or something. I think it was in preview a year ago, and a couple of months back it got generally available in GA. So what Azure Bastion service actually do, it is, let me come here. Azure Bastion service is, first of all, it is a PaaS offering. Okay, let's write down the features of Azure Bastion service. First of all, this is PaaS offering. Okay, so Azure Bastion is a new fully platform managed PaaS service that you provision inside your virtual network. Okay, so instead of this jump box, we would have this Bastion. Okay, so it is a PaaS service, so of course it provides secure and seamless RDP SSH connectivity to your virtual machines directly in the Azure portal over SSL. Okay, it is not like you are accessing a public IP address. It is like you are accessing the virtual machine over SSL. So no public IP. Now, Bastion provides secure RDP and SSH connectivity to all of the VMs in the virtual network in which it is provisioned. Using Azure Bastion protects your virtual machine from exposing RDP or SSH. So, no RDP SSH port exposed, okay, to the outside world. And this service deployed as per the virtual network, not as per the subscription, as per virtual network. Okay. And once this service is created or implemented, then the RDP or SSH experience is available to all your VMs in the same virtual network. Okay. Since it's a password, which I told you at the beginning, you don't even need to apply NSG on that particular subnet, and you require a subnet just like application gateway that works for this service. And for other subnets you can allow or disallow, that's up to you, but for this subnet you don't need anything. Okay, all right, now let's talk about some other features of this Bastion service. For example, we do have, once we do the lab, you can see we do have the session information, like who is logged into your VMs. You would have the source IP address as well, and you can disconnect it from there. You do have a copy and paste thing in the Bastion service. If your browser doesn't support the advanced clipboard, you can utilize that copy paste thing. It is embedded in the Bastion service. Okay. All right. So there are few things I would like to talk about before I do the demonstration, like the kind of features, so that we know a little more about the Bastion service. We know it is does not require RDP and SSH. You can directly get to the RDP and SSH session directly in the Azure portal using a single click seamless experience. When you go to the Azure portal, you click on connect button on the VM, you get two options, right? RDP, SSH, you would have the Bastion option there. You click on the Bastion. Once you click it, prompt like a username password, you put in the ID password and you are inside that VM. It works on HTML5 and SSL on the browser on port 443. Okay, so that's all about it. Let's go and do the demonstration right now and complete the Bastion service. We are inside the Azure portal. We type here Bastion and you can see right here Bastions. Go to create the Bastion. It will ask very few information like the resource group. Let's put it in this resource group. It will ask for the name. Let's type the Bastion West US virtual network. Let's put it here. Subnet, you see Azure Bastion subnet. You have to create with the same naming convention. If you do not have the subnet CIDR available, you would not be able to utilize this service, or you gotta create it first. If you cannot create it, go ahead. If there would be a space, it will go ahead and create by himself by /27. Okay. It needs a public IP address, but you cannot go and access that public IP address. You won't have that. I have this existing, so it's keeping that one, and it is static because this is standard SKU. Standard public IP is always static. Let's review and create. It's validating right now. Meanwhile, I will show you I have only one virtual machine in this ARG VNet. While it is deploying, I'll show you. This is the virtual machine, and you can see we got so many things like Docker, VS Code, Git Bash, and we'll try to log in to this VM with the help of Bastion service. All right, so it's finally deployed. We can see it took a couple of minutes. Let's go to the resource. Now this is our Bastion service in this resource group in West US, and we don't have much of the options here. We don't even need much of the options here, and you can see it doesn't show you the public IP address, only the name of the public IP address, and that's the subnet. Now under session that I was talking about, you can find all the sessions that is using Bastion service to access the VMs inside the virtual network, and you can disconnect that session from here as well. You can also get the information about how long they are there and the IP address and all those information. So let's quickly get into the VM. So this is the ARG VM that we have. Let's click on connect. You see we have RDP, SSH, and Bastion. Let's click on Bastion. It's asking username and password. That is the username and password for my VM. So I'm adding my ID and password. Connect. See, it is on the browser we are getting this connection, and I'm in. You can see this is the same machine, all those folders and application you can see, and this is the text images copied to the clipboard. Let's allow this. I told you you can either it is supported or you can use it from here. Okay, let's suppose if I go to my blog, okay, and click here, and if I copy these and I come back here, come on, I did not copy, it is right here. Okay, or you can utilize this to copy to the command line tools as well. So this is a good feature. All right, and if I go back to the Bastion and refresh it, it should show my session. You can see my session. Okay, this is the target IP address that I'm trying to access. All right, so that's all about it. And thanks for watching. You have a good day. Bye bye.